This reverse osmosis water purification system was installed 6 years ago. Every year I change the guard filters, but the membrane is still the original one. The manufacturer, I think they recommend change on the membrane every 2 to 3 years, I believe. But I think that's kind of like your car oil change. The car makers, they'll recommend every 3,000 miles for change. But I think that's a little bit too frequent. That's my personal opinion. Right now, after 6 years of use, I think it is definitely time for a change. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Alright, the first thing you do is to shut off the water supply. Just this little valve here, shut it off. And shut the storage tank valve. And well, before we do that, let's take a baseline total dissolved solid measurement, TDS measurement. All right, hang on a second. Let's take some baseline measurement. So the cold tap water has a TDS of what is that? 375. Right now it's 374 milligrams per liter. So that is ppm. All right. The pure water, right now it reads about 127 ppm. So that is an indication that the membrane is due for a change. It's probably overdue by now. First thing to do is to remove these polytubes to isolate the ion exchange cartridge. So these are all held together by compression fittings. Sometimes they're a little tight, but we'll see. Okay, not too bad. So here goes the cartridge. Next, we're going to remove the RO membrane cartridge. This is a little cartridge for, I think it's for final taste and odor. I don't know what's in it, probably some kind of resins. To isolate this guy, we'll need to remove the drain tubing. Alright, here we go. Uh-oh. I have a little water alarm here, a leak detector. So I just got a little bit of water dripped on that and it triggered it. Now I have isolated this RO cartridge. It can come out now. I'm not sure how tight it is. Let's find out. Not too bad. Just to add the little details here. Look at this region here. There is some precipitations, and that is an indication that this filter is overdue. I should have changed it probably 2 years ago. So look at this new cartridge. It's pretty white, and this is stained. So 6 years is a bit too long, and I would say probably 3 to 4 years is reasonable. So I need some assistance to hold this out. There you go. Pretty simple to pop this new cartridge in. Alright, the remaining steps are simple. Just to reverse the process and reconnect everything. The replacement cartridge on this DI filter is a little smaller than the original one. That's no big deal. I just have to secure it with a zip tie. 3 things I want to mention as a little advice or tips. Number 1 is mark your connections before you disassemble the system. Then you know what's connected to what when you reassemble it. Number 2 is write down everything you did. Write a note and write down what you changed. It's always a good practice. That's your maintenance record. I'll keep this in a little bag here. Number 3 is early on, I don't know if you remember, I had a leak alarm going off. It's a pretty simple little device, pretty cheap. It measures, if it detects the leaks. If you have any small leaks, it'll trigger an alarm. Of course, if you're not home, you have a big leak, there's nothing you can do about it, but at least some of the small things you can catch in time. Okay. Later on, I'm gonna drain this storage tank and measure the total dissolved solid on after I change the filters. So now let's open up the water. Right now, gotta open it slowly, so if there's anything that's leaking, you will know about it. Just go slowly. There's a lot of air in the system, I think, right now. Oh, there's a little leak here, so gotta fix that. Here's an Arrowhead bottled water. Let's see what it is. It has a TDS 23.2. Alright. Let's see how our water after filter change is. So after the cartridge change, my water is giving me 20 ppm TDS. So it's pretty good, much better. I think when the system was new, I was getting around 10 to 12 before.